Hi, my name is Ryan Gallagher, and I'm going to give you an overview of my final project for CSCI-E88, fall 2017. The project's goal, it's a big data processing project that collects stock option data for a subset of stocks. In this case, I'm using the acronym FANG, which is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, NVIDIA, and Google. I pull a data source throughout the day to get real-time quotes and store that into Elasticsearch to conduct further analytics. And in this case, my expected results is going to be visualization trends across the total put and call volume across all the strike prices. So in terms of the processing pipeline, I'm using Tradier, which is a developer-friendly brokerage site. They have a very robust API that gives you easy access to market data in terms of getting option chains and the expiration dates and all that kind of stuff. To get the data from Tradier, I created a collection tier in Python. I call it Tradier Polar, and what I do is I loop through the 6 stocks that I'm interested in. For each stock, I send a query asking for the available expiration dates, and then for each expiration date that comes back, I then send another request for the option chain for that expiration date, and then with that option chain, I then break it down into each individual strike price, whether it's a put or call, and I send that JSON document over to Kafka, and then Logstash pulls from Kafka. Does some filtering on the objects, the JSON documents, to pull out fields that we're not that interested in. I then built a Django web application that utilizes high charts. That's the broad overview. For Elasticsearch, I use Docker and have a 2-cluster Elasticsearch, a 2-node Elasticsearch cluster. And for Logstash, this is my input from Kafka. And then here's the filter where I'm throwing out a bunch of fields I don't need and modifying the expiration date field to get a time zone in there. And then I send it to the Elasticsearch index. And so, for example, over here, if you want to just see how this kind of runs, I can set up a console consumer for Kafka. And I can, here's my Kibana running, here's my Elasticsearch running. I can get my Logstash running, and then I can run my Polar, and you can see that it's pulling. You can see Kafka's grabbing that data, or receiving that data, and here's Logstash outputting that data into the console, and also sending it to Elasticsearch. And if I open up Kibana, in the last 15 minutes I have no results, but if I refresh this now, you will now see all these results that are being sent into Elasticsearch. So since the market's closed right now, this data isn't going to be that useful, but since I have data from earlier today, I will show you what the actual visualization looks like, which is right here. So I'll just do a quick refresh. This is the December 15th options, so that expires this Friday, but this is from today's market data, so today being Monday, December 11th. I didn't start at the very beginning of the day, but you can see for like Facebook, for example, there was 24,000 calls across all the strike prices and 13,000 puts, and it kind of continues to grow throughout the day. And generally, the ratio between calls and puts suggests a pretty bullish outlook on Facebook. Here's Apple, here's Amazon. You can see there's actually a lot more puts compared to some of those other stocks for Amazon, so perhaps some bearish sentiment on Amazon. Here's Netflix, NVIDIA, and Google. I also have a list of all the various expiration dates, so if we go to like 12/22, for example, it will take a second, but then reload. So now this is all the December 22nd expiring options and the information for Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google. You can see some interesting sort of jumps in volume here. So anyways, thank you very much for watching my presentation. Bye-bye.